Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Russell here from Porkys Corner, the voice of hardcore boxing. Now, this video is going on the members area. So all you people who are fortunate enough to be members, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. We're trying our best to get you 10 videos a month. Might even get you more this month. We'll see how it goes, but a minimum of 10. But I have to do 20 on YouTube. Now, you've had 27-ish, I think, after tomorrow, 28. So you always get more than 30 a month. So I hope you're enjoying the videos. I know a lot of you are sharing them. You can't share the members ones because I don't think it allows you to, but you're sharing the other ones because I've been checking. I've got my eye on you all. So I'm watching from afar. Now, I just want to say thank you very much. Today, I'm joined by Kent, all the way from Belfast in Northern Ireland. He's the hardcore and a regular contributor on Porkys Corner. How are you doing, Kent, lad?
Good morning, Russell. How's it going, buddy?
All right, mate.
I suppose you've done your Dave Draper bicep workout this morning at 4 in the morning.
No, I've got that to do, actually, in 20 minutes. Dave Draper with blonde hair.
Yeah, the bomber.
From Golden Era.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to do what it is, you see, right? I've noticed that if you go to gym and you train heavy on your own, you don't enjoy it, you get injuries and that. And obviously, I'm 51 years of age. So what I've done, instead of throwing stupid weights back and rocking like that, I go and do light weights and rep out. And you can still get a pump on like that. It just takes a bit longer. But and I enjoy it more, and I can take my time because obviously the gym's just next door here. I just take my time, and I'm here all day on my own. So if anybody wants to come down and fill me in, you're more than welcome. But I've got enough people who want to film me. It seems like lately everybody wants to beat me up.
You must be doing something right, Russell.
Listen, mate, all we can do in life is be true to ourselves and tell the truth. Did you see Peter Fury's BBTV interview?
I was watching it last night as I was doing the script for this, and it says, right, we'll put this on for 10 minutes, and I watched it right through, and it was absolutely brilliant. I do you know what? I looked at him when he was saying, he was getting into what he was saying.
Yeah.
And it was chilling. Like, I would not want to be in the wrong side of Peter Fury. He is legit. And everything he said was absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Everything he said is what's happening in the sport of boxing. It's full of people that are arse licking and kissing arse, and half of them are not worth a wank in a lavatory. That's what he said, didn't he?
Peter, if you're watching, that has got to be the boxing quote of the year. Unbelievable. I thought it was a great video. I was, what I was really impressed with? I was really impressed with that facility he's got. It is incredible.
Oh, Peter's gym. Oh, it's fine. I've been to it, mate. It's fantastic. It's like an aeroplane hangar, but a modern one. We've got ring in there. They've got every equipment known to man. And Yui's got his own pad there. There's a fountain. You drive around fountain, and then there's Yui's plush pad. Look, Yui's doing really well for himself. And it's like Peter said, Savannah and Yui, you don't get a peek out of them. I've been sat at dinner table with him many times and silence. Nobody says anything. And they're just quiet, nice kids. That's what they are, the kids, aren't they, basically, in the 20s?
Yeah.
But they're quiet, nice kids. And I wish them every success in the world. Yui ain't got a bad bone in his body, Yui. And I'm a big Yui fan, as you know. I like him. I think if you get to know a boxer or spend the time around, you don't have to have loads of conversations with them. You get to know if they're a nice kid. And Yui and his brothers have been fetched up correctly, and his sisters. They've had a good upbringing and they've got a bit of class. So I wish him all the best. And Savannah's lovely as well. They're lovely people.
Yeah, Peter just oozes class himself, just the way he conducts himself. And I just find his videos fascinating. Really, I remember that they done a 3-part thing at lockdown and with Peter, and he talked about his time in obviously inside and stuff. And my mates were actually sending me these who aren't really boxing fans. And we're like, this guy is just, I could listen to this guy all day. And I listened to them. And I'm like, I'd never really come across Peter much before that. But he's an absolute gentleman. And you know, there needs to be more people in boxing actually speaking out the way Peter has, but they don't have the gonads, to be honest.
What'll happen is they'll make a film about Peter's life, but who's going to play me?
A ripped porky.
Yeah. Who's going to have a battle royale with me?
Pop, pop, bang.
Pop, pop, bang. End of, on the floor. Good night. Give me them belts back that you stole, you bum. Right. Let's just have a quick chat about Canelo Plant. It looks like it's not going to be on DAZN, and Eddie Hearn's not got a part in the whole play. What do you think to that? Or has he?
It's brilliant news. It's absolutely brilliant. It's good for boxing. I know PBC get a lot of stick. They have been getting a lot of stick lately from a lot of outlets, and deservedly so. But this can only be a good thing for boxing. You know, it just shows you now that, you know, Eddie has basically talked himself out of working with all these promoters. He made that comment, I'm going to destroy the pay-per-view model in America. And it just shows now, you know this, they're all pulling rank on him. Yeah. And it just shows you Eddie's not what he is in the UK over in America.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, then. Just a quick one on the Calm Brooks situation update. You probably have been following my videos. The word's still doing the rounds. It's a 2-fight deal on Sky. I don't know how true that is. I'm only going on what somebody's told me in the game. I have to be very careful about what people say to me, because sometimes somebody will give somebody a false rumor, knowing that they'll tell me, knowing that I've got their ear, and it can make me look a fool. So I'm just going to. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in yesterday's video, so I'll mention it on here. So let's hope it is true, because they're going to have to be paid, but I still think it's wrong, morally wrong. But it depends what stat card they're going to put on with it being Sky, doesn't it? But it's morally wrong to ask for £20 for them to, and because they're of it ill, aren't they, Ken?
They're finished. You know, you've got Khan, who's when was his last world title win? 9 years ago?
No, 2011, July.
10 years ago?
Jeb Judah, over 10 years.
Judah and
an old man. And you've got Brook. When was his last proper? You know, you go through the record. Porter. 2014 or 15, wasn't it? 15.
Split decision.
Was it 15?
Yeah, it was a split decision.
Over 6 years ago, then. 6 years.
I think it was a PBC card it was on. Yeah, it was a PBC card. You know, from that, he has done absolutely nothing. You know, the defenses he fought was terrible. He went up. They threw him in with Golovkin, and he got his face smashed to pieces, literally smashed to pieces. And he's been part-time ever since it. Who wants to watch two fighters who have got absolutely no punch resistance left at all? None.
Nobody, do they? Nobody.
I think what they'll do, Russell, is they'll put Eubanks on the card. And I think it will be in with Wasserman, and it'll be interesting to see if any of AJ's fighters will be on that, because he's still with Sky. He's a fight left with Sky, but here it's hiding in there, really, isn't it?
It sure is. Okay. Wood. Let's have a look. Top 5 pound for pound. My top 5 pound for pound. Right, I'm going to give my 5, and then you can give your 5. Then we'll discuss them. Well, I've picked 5 that are undefeated. So I think you've got to be undefeated if you're going to be at the top 5, and have not been done for drug charges. All right, so I've got. These can be in any order because they're undefeated and they're all different weight divisions. Usyk, Spence, Taylor, and Neo, is it the Japanese kid?
In a way.
I know, yeah, and Beta Beef, Beta Viterbo. They're all undefeated, right? They're my top 5. But you could, if you wanted to pick a top 10, you could have Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, Golovkin, Tyson Fury, and Canelo. But Tank Davis, he's just edged out the top 5. Teofimo Lopez, he's only really got that one win, hasn't he, against one decent elite win against Loma. Golovkin's been beat, but it were an iffy loss. And he's knocking on a bit now, but he were knocking tin cans out for years. Fury's got 3 drug charges against him. And I thought he was fortunate in the first Wilder fight because he got put down. And he had 2 long counts, which I proved.
Yeah.
And Canelo's a dope cheat, isn't he? And he's had a few iffy wins, hasn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So my top 5 could be in any order, but I'll put it in this order. I'm going to go Viterbo number 1, Usyk 2, Josh Taylor 3, Spence 4, and AO 5. But it could be them. Any of them 5 could be in any order, all different weight divisions, and they're all undefeated. So, what's your top 5?
That's a brilliant list, Russell. I'm going to go from. I'm going to start from 5. So I've got Oscar Valdez in at number 5. So I've got number 4. I've got Naoya Inoue at number 4. So I have at number 3. I've got Josh Taylor. At number 2, I've got Terence Crawford, and at number 1, I've got Errol Spence.
Well, I didn't put Terence Crawford in my list. For a simple reason that I think I don't know, I rated him, but I think he could slightly be a bit of a cherry picker.
I think...
Khan Brook, come on.
Yep. You look at the record now, and it is that way. It definitely is that way now. But if you go down the record, it's kind of... He beat Ricky Burns at the time, who was 36-2. He beat Gamboa, who was 23-0. He beat Ray Beltran, who was going through everybody at just under world level. Benavidez, 27-0, and Postorel at 28-0. So that was kind of before the Brook and Khan kind of fights. So I think you're right what you're saying. His peak years and peak times of fighting have been against guys that have been way past their best in Brook and Khan.
Yeah.
You know, them fights, now you look, he's 33 years old now. Them fights were 2 years ago. He should have been fighting the likes of Errol Spence then, coming up. Now he's 33. Many years really has he got at that elite level? How many?
Not many. 2.
So and I think it's good that he keeps a low profile. You know, he's got his coach is Coach Brian McIntyre is actually coaching Amir Khan now in America. That's where he's training. So and as well, he's 14 WBO defenses. 14. Crawford.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but a lot of them are handpicked, aren't they, from Top Rank?
Yeah. So he was undisputed, and he's 14 defenses. That's why I've got him in at number 2. Really, Russell, I didn't want to put 2 people in from the same division in pound for pound. I think I've got. I'm sitting in the fence here a bit, to be honest, and I couldn't really separate them. You know, Errol Spence, you know, he has had the better resume the last couple of years. You know, he beat Mickey Garcia, who was 39-0. He beat Sean Porter, who was 32-1. Danny Garcia coming back fight. It was an easier fight for him. He beat Brook 36-1 just after the Golovkin fight. I know he's a southpaw. I think his style is a bit more complex than Crawford. I think it's a more complex style to beat, where Crawford can kind of figure things out really quick. But Spence keeps that style the whole time. So I've got Spence in at number 1.
You got Errol Spence at number 1.
Yeah.
You can make a case for that, can't you? Because it's a glamour division, welterweight, one of the oldest divisions there is. Is it one of the original 7 divisions? It is, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is.
So it's a glamour division. He's undefeated. He ices people, doesn't he? He's a southpaw. He bashed Mayweather up in sparring, didn't he, a few years ago, didn't
he? Yeah. And you say there, you always go back to that glamour division. So it's a welterweight division. So you could always say to yourself, well, would he have beat Duran at welterweight? Would he have beat Tommy Hearns at welterweight? Would he have beat Sugar Ray Leonard at welterweight?
Yeah, so he'd be in that company, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would. And
Duran were really a lightweight, wasn't he? Really, a top lightweight.
Duran's best work was always done at lightweight. Yeah. Always it was at lightweight, and that Ken Buchanan undisputed. But it's hard to separate them, really. I don't think they're ever going to fight. Crawford and him. Look at them like they're both southpaws. They're both undefeated. Spence has got 5 IBF defenses. So, yeah, it's just a shame. It tells you what boxing's like now. You look in them days, those guys were fighting each other. And you look now, you've got Crawford, who is 33, and you've got Spence, who's 31. They haven't fought, Russell.
Did they fight 9 times? Agler, Earns, Leonard, Duran? Were it 9 times between them?
Leonard fought Duran twice.
Altogether, though, I think it was 9, wasn't it?
9 fights between them.
Yeah. And what have these lot had between them? We haven't had no, have we?
None. Absolutely none. So you look at legacies, they all talk about legacy now. I want my legacy. Then legacy fights were basically near enough every fighter was a legacy fight. Any one of them fights, Hagler, Hearns, Leonard, Duran, were all a legacy fight. Now there isn't, legacy. Even Mayweather didn't have a legacy fight. Really, did he?
Pacquiao, it were over ill and far away by the time he got to him, wasn't he? Well, you could say Ricky Hatton, couldn't you? But Ricky Hatton, he dragged him up 7 pounds, didn't he?
Yeah, and and was he really that world level? Ricky Hatton, top end world level.
Ricky Hatton were carefully matched by Bricktop, wasn't he? And Dennis carefully matched him when Dennis had him. Dennis only had him for 4 fights, but they were carefully matched.
I've got number 3. I've got another southpaw, undefeated, and I know you like this guy, and I put him in. It's Josh Taylor.
Yeah, I'm a big Josh Taylor fan. Do you remember 3 years ago in August 2018, I did a video, sat in my car outside, and I said, Josh Taylor beats Mikey Garcia. Go and look at that video, August 2018. And people abused me in the comments section. All those people that abused me. Let me tell you this. Don't ever say that I'm going to be wrong. Ever. Or you might be able to get me when I'm 50 years old. No, seriously. All those people that abused me about that video, your wives are at stake.
Love it.
No, yeah. I just said Josh Taylor beats Mikey Garcia. And people say, "Porky, you're crazy man." Well, you're not saying it now, are you?
He's undisputed. I remember one time I was at a press conference, and it was Clark Frampton at Belfast. It was one of his last press conferences. And no, it was before that. Sorry, I'm getting wrong. It was before that. And Clark would have brought me in to the VIP kind of lounge where everyone was, like family and stuff. And I was talking to Shane. And I always got on quite well with Shane. And I was always...
McGuigan.
Shane McGuigan, always dead on with me. He would have talked away. And I said, I really like this kid. You saying Josh Taylor? He looked at me, he was like, I'm telling you right now, He says, he's the business. And he says, this was after the first Santa Cruz fight. And he said, we were over staying outside Vegas. We were staying in Kenny Porter's house. He had a house and it had a gym downstairs. And there was fighters coming in and out of it in the morning. We done our sessions in the afternoon. And Sean Porter was there. And he was looking sparring. And he says, we put in Josh. He says, Josh punched him upside down.
Did he?
That day. He says, this was a 1-0 novice. He says he punched him out of the ring. He says Kenny Porter was going absolutely.
Is it Sean Porter? Sean Porter, yeah?
Yeah. Well, Kenny Porter's the dad. And he says Kenny was screaming and going absolutely ballistic. And the spar was stopped. And he came back 2 days later and he punched him out of the ring. And that was a 2-fight novice. And I always remembered that. And the old O'Hara Davis fight, I remember him just smashing through O'Hara Davis
O'Hara Davis, but favourite, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
He was supposed to be going to go up to Scotland and ice Josh Taylor, wasn't he?
It's a big card. It was. I think Cyclone spent a fortune on production and getting the fight on, and he gets smashed to pieces. You look at, he won the Commonwealth title in like his seventh fight. He won the Commonwealth title and beat Dave Ryan, and in 14th fight he won a world title, and in his 18th fight he's now undisputed world champion light welterweight. When was the last time anybody won undisputed as quick, and there wasn't a word about it on the BBC? Not a word.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. So you've got Josh Taylor at 2, and who you got at 3?
Sorry, Josh Taylor 3, Terence Crawford 2, and Earl Spence at 1.
Yeah, so we spoke about that. What you got at 4?
Number 4 is I've got Inoue Inoue.
Yeah, Imo took Jamie McDonald to cleaners.
Smashed. He cleaned him out in one round. I've got him because he's 4-division world champion, Russell.
Yeah, who is?
Inoue.
And it offers you a 3. Is it 4? Huh?
It's light flyweight, super flyweight, bantamweight, and super bantamweight. In Asia, I follow the Asian boxing scene, and they're very, very serious about domestic titles. A domestic title will sell out an arena just the same way as a world title. So they have the OPBF, Asian Pacific Boxing Federation titles, and that would be like their British title fight. He won that, and I think it was 3 fights. He was in that. He won that. He went up in 6 fights and he won the world title and defeated Gabriel Hernandez. He actually had 6 defenses getting into that fight. So it just shows you, he's 21-0, 18 early.
Yeah, he's a nice man, isn't
he? He reminds me a bit of a lightweight Roberto Duran. He's outstanding, and I could see him going up now to featherweight. He called out, I seen it this morning online in Boxing News, that he's called out Caresmo, who had that sleep fest at the weekend with Rigo. Yeah. I think Rigo shot to pieces, and I think Caresmo is really overrated. I think Inoue walks right through him and Rigo, and if he fights Donaire again, he'll walk right through Donaire. So I've got him in at number 4. Okay. He's undefeated.
You got at number 5, Kent?
Number 5, this may be a bit of a curveball. I know you like a curveball the odd time, Russell. You like throwing them in yourself, so I'm going to throw one in myself, and I'm going to go Oscar Valdez at 5.
Oscar Valdez.
I think this could be me showing a wee bit of an emotional attachment because I like him. I like I've always followed him. I would have loved to seen him fight Card Frampton. I wanted to actually.
He's still undefeated, isn't he?
He's 29-0.
Yeah. He beat Quigg, didn't he?
He beat Quigg. He beat Quigg in that night. I think that night, Bob Arum actually got pneumonia because it was absolutely soaking down outside. He beat Quigg. He got his jaw broken that fight, and he had to go 7 rounds with a broken jaw. He beat Ivanchi Granatovich, and his last win against Burchell was up at featherweight, so super featherweight. So he's unified a division. He's unified 2 divisions. You know, he's moved up. So not unified. He's won at 2 different divisions. So I've just put him in there because I think the smaller weight guys don't get a lot of recognition at times. You know, I think it's always from welterweight up, and I'm just putting him in there. I think he's worked really hard. He was with Manny Robles for a while, and you know, like any Manny Robles fighter their defense is absolutely terrible, and he was getting hurt. Getting hurt, and he was getting taken a lot of. I thought he was shot. I thought he was starting to slow down, and he's left Robles now, and he's with the Colano coach over there in Mexico. So he's got a breath of fresh air. He's a nice kid. That is my top 5 pound for pound. Now, what I will say, Russell, for the members, the guys here watching in, if you're a drug cheat, you don't deserve to be in pound for pound. No, I'm not even going to go there. I like if you've claimed a division, I think that warrants. You know, what is pound for pound? Explain to me, Russell, what
I think it is. I think it's guys at the top of their game. There's a certain select guys in every division that are really, really at the top of their game, and they look unbeatable. Them sort of guys, you know, like Andre Ward. You know, his style was terrible, but he looked unbeatable, didn't he? Mike Tyson were unbeatable at one point. Pernell Whitaker were unbeatable. Obviously, everybody gets beat the longer you keep rolling the dice. But these guys at the top of the game, Andy Holyfield were unbeatable at cruiser. Michael Moore were unbeatable at light heavy. Michael Spinks were. These Larry Holmes, they go into like a purple patch of a period where you don't see them getting beat. That's what pound for pound for me is. I know it's a mythical title and all that, but what's Laniel then? Tyson Fury says he don't believe in pound for pound, but he believes in Laniel. I don't get that. Well, the Laniel lineage, or whatever they want to call it, were broken, wasn't it? Before Tyson got it, wasn't it? It were broken because Vladimir. Where am I going here with this? Vitaly Klitschko retired, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he was a mad one at one point. When so Lennox Lewis retired. So that's it, Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis retired, and it went then, didn't it? And then a new era starts, doesn't it? So it's not like it's been passed on, is it?
Yeah.
But Tyson's probably the best of this era, but it's a very poor era, isn't it?
It is. You name names there, and you look down now, and you've got Joshua below. You've got Tyson at the top, obviously. You've got Joshua just below it.
Yeah.
And it's like 2 divisions. It really is 2 divisions. You know, everybody under that there, firstly, they're not fighting each other. So it's really, really hard to say. You go on Tyson being number 1 because he beat Wilder twice. Well, he had the draw, and he beat him convincingly a second time.
Yeah.
You've got Joshua, and what destroys Joshua's legacy is Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
But underneath that, who is there? Who is there there? Who is there that's going to build? You know, we talked about legacy there. If you take out Joshua out and you take Fury out of that equation, all them guys left, is there any legacy fights in there?
Yeah, Rico agrees wholeheartedly with me on that. he agrees with that. They're not fighting for legacy now, are they? The fighters are now businessmen, not fighters. They don't care for fans. They care for money. They say it's entertainment. Well, it is. It's turning into entertainment. It's turning into WWE, isn't it? I always have to swear, don't I? That's the matter with me. I need to get counselling.
You're not. You know what you're going to need to do, Russell? Do you remember, like, if you went around your granny's house, you said bad language, and you're like, right, that's a swear jar. You're going to need to get a swear jar, and every time you say a bad word, you're going to need to put £1 in the swear jar.
£1. I didn't have £1 when I was a kid. It was pit belt. We'd have to just go like that and undo pit belt.
I would never have said bad language at home. I would have been terrified of getting.
I apologise for my swearing. I apologise to everybody who gets offended by my swearing. Usually I just say I don't give a F, but I apologise. But I've got a short fuse, and boxing, it plays with my emotions, and I get bad-tempered about things that I see in the sport, because at the end of the day, kids are getting punched in the head, and there's people earning loads of money who are half all right, and there's people not earning much money and struggling who are fantastic fighters, and it's put it into a pot, and it all comes out wrong out my mouth. So I apologise for swearing, but just part of me, innit, I suppose. I'm not being dragged up as well. My parents are really strict. My dad was a coal miner, and my mum worked for Kentucky Fried Chicken nearly 40 years. A long time, that, isn't it? She only just retired at 70, 69. So, you know, it's craziness. It's craziness, but I have had a good upbringing, and I shouldn't swear, and it's not good. So I apologise. But my list, we'll go through mine now. Obviously, Usyk, World Boxing Super Series champion, Olympic heavyweight gold medalist. Joshua obviously won the super heavyweight. A lot of people say, hey, well, Joshua was super heavyweight. Usyk, he smashed up Vladimir in sparring when he turned pro. Errol Spence, he's undefeated like Usyk. He's going to be in there. Southpaw, big puncher. Josh Taylor, he's in there. Got to be in there. He's undefeated, big puncher, Southpaw. And now 4-weight world champion, undefeated. And Beterbiev, people might say, Beterbiev is knocked everybody out. He's undefeated. He's been world champion, about 4 years now? And everybody he's fought in his career, he's put them to kip. He's put them into orbit. And he's only been down once against Callum Johnson. And Callum Johnson's probably, in my opinion, at the moment, Frank Warren's best fighter. Would you say?
Yeah.
You say he's Frank Warren's best fighter because he's been in with a pound for pound. Nobody's been in with Usyk who Frank's got. I don't think anybody's been in with Errol Spence or Taylor. Oh, no, Awara Davis got put into orbit by Taylor. I know you. I don't know if any of Franks have been in with him, but Callum Johnson went in with Beterbiev, whatever you want to call him, went in with Eddie. But Callum Johnson's Frank's best fighter. And if they put Callum Johnson in a world title fight and he wins it, and he sent out there a bit more on social media, he could probably be pound for pound, Callum Johnson, on the strength of hard work, getting the right fights. Beterbiev rematch could be a pay-per-view, couldn't it, with Stat Card? Considering to what other shit they're serving up on pay-per-view channels. Johnson against Beterbiev, pay-per-view, yes, please, 20 quid with Stat Card. What do you agree?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a trade fight. It is a trade fight,
Proper fight.
I have Callum Johnson in as number 1 light heavyweight in Britain.
Yeah, I have got him as number 1. Yeah. So that's my top 5, and obviously the other ones, Golovkin, he's on slide now. Teofimo Lopez, he's probably 2 more wins away from being in top 5. Tank, probably 2 or 3 wins.
Yeah.
And Canelo's a drug cheat. That's just how, and he's had some dodgy decisions. We've got the guy at the pinnacle of the sport. They've got 2 guys at the pinnacle of the sport, right? Canelo, drug cheat. And he invented his own weight division, blah, blah, blah. And he's had iffy decisions. Over across the pond, we've got Anthony Joshua. We know his story, don't we? Wrapped in cotton wool. And then if you want to have an alternative to Joshua, you've got Tyson Fury, fighting man that's not fighting because whoever's advising him at the moment, I don't know what they're doing. And he's had three issues with drug cheating and a ban. So we know his story. And this is the sport of boxing. This is it. But if you say anything, you're a hater. Porky, you're a hater. And speaking of Ultratech's impressions, the channel took down, hasn't he?
Why was that?
I don't know, but somebody did say to me, and I don't know if this is true, so that he got outspoken regarding some issue regarding Afghanistan or Taliban or something like that, and I think he's had a couple of things took down recently, and the videos I've noticed been took down. I don't know, but Ultra, I like him. I like him a lot. I like what he stands for. I'd like to see him in front of the camera because it quite annoys me that. But I can understand why he won't want to put his son in front of the camera. Look at the stuff that I have to go through on a daily basis. And I get to see everything eventually. Obviously, some stuff gets deleted I don't see. But I can understand because boxing's got this big, heavy mafia Hollywood number around it. Everybody's roadman killers. And really half of them just shithouses with no bollocks. But I can understand Ultra getting his videos took down if he's said something against race. Did he ever go at Owen Jones? Is he a politician or something?
I don't really follow the stuff.
I didn't get to see the stuff, but I know that his channel got shut down. So I hope he's all right. But his channel weren't one of them where he were getting it, putting the ads out and all that on it. So he could easily set another channel up and come back, and everybody would follow him again. But I liked Ultra, but I think he shut his Twitter down because he gets frustrated. He's a bit like me. I mean, look, I could come in here one day and just something not take me fancy, and boom, that switch can go in my head, and I'll just say, you know what, I'm done with this, because boxing can have that effect on you. It can have that effect on you. Trust me, it can, mate.
Especially if you're passionate about it. Like, how long have you been watching boxing? How many years?
Oh, since Hagler Minter. As far as I can remember, Hagler Minter and the Larry Holmes era, going back that far, Barry McGuigan, all them, Frank Bruno, Kirtland Lang, going back to probably 1980. First match I remember was Hagler Minter. I watched it in black and white in my mum and dad's bed, me and my brother. Salt and vinegar French fries, can of Coke, Mars bar, boxing on. My mum and dad at the pub, we were watching boxing. But that was 41 years ago. So I've been watching it that long.
Terrestrial TV, then boxing I just made it. Boxing was a prime time. It was like, you've got all these prime time TV programs on now. That's when boxing was at its best. It was on prime time terrestrial TV that everybody could see. I think my first recollection with boxing was, I've said this before, was watching Chris Eubanks against Gary Stretch on ITV. And I think before that, it was when Wayne McCulloch fought Joe Casamayor in the Olympic final, because he was from the same area as
silver,
I was.
Didn't he? Got silver.
So silver. The amazing thing about that is that, a lot of guys now are pulling out and they've sore ankles, and sore hands, and sore shoulders. And now Wayne in the fight before, he fought a guy from Korea and got his cheekbone broke, basically a broken jaw and a cheekbone.
He's Robin Reed's mate in Wayne McCulloch. I think they both came back from Olympics with medals in '92, didn't they?
They did. It was silver medal. I think
Robin got bronze. Yeah, light middleweight. Yeah.
Robin got bronze and Wayne got silver. And I think they come up the whole amateur scene at the time. I think, did Robin get a Commonwealth gold? Did Robin get a Commonwealth medal?
I know he got a World Championship silver in juniors, like Hughie Fury. I think Hughie got a gold in World Championships in juniors, but I think Robin got a silver. I can't remember if he got a Commonwealth gold. I can't remember. But his career, he had a good amateur career, Robin. Very good.
Brilliant career. Wayne as well. Wayne actually fought Arturo Gatti in the amateurs.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
and he stopped him. He actually stopped him. I've got the footage of it. I'll send it into our group chat today. But Robin had a great career. Robin come up. It was then boxing was the way it's meant to be. You know, if you turn over, you get a good deal. Well, you're meant to get a good deal, but it's always on the basis of having a good amateur career. Robin was ABA champion. He went to multi-nations, won multi-nations. He Olympic bronze, European silver. The Europeans at that time, Russell, the European selection qualification was actually harder than the Olympics. And you could actually argue to say that we know the Olympics is the pinnacle of any sport, and especially boxing then. I wouldn't say it is right now, but right then the Olympics was the pinnacle, and at the Europeans at that time, the qualification standard was even higher. So that's a massive achievement in itself. So fair play to Robin, and I see he's doing some coaching and stuff and some personal training, and I hope he gets a good turn out of that because he deserves it.
He teaches people how to work the pads. He's pad seminars, does all that kind of work, and he's really good on pads. Really good. He can teach southpaw, side to side, forward. He can do all of it, with pads. He's that good.
Yeah, well, it's what he's come through. He's come through a great gym. He came through that Collyhurst gym. He came through that gym with Pat Barrett, Brian Hughes, and it's good to see now. We always talk about young trainers. Who's a good young trainer? Shane McGuigan. Shane McGuigan's been coaching 10 years. He's not a young trainer. When you look at young coaches coming through, you look at the Jennings brothers. You look at Michael Jennings. Michael Jennings is coaching. He's come out of that gym, and he's doing good stuff and at the minute coaching wise. So
Michael Jennings and his brother Dave are good trainers, but they're not them sort of lads to shout the mouths off, are they?
No.
You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people are.
They're proper boxing people.
Yeah. Okie dokie then. Well, listen, thanks for coming on, Kent. We've had an hour. It's been nearly an hour. It's been emotional. We've got our top 5 out, pound for pound. Mine are all undefeated and not drug cheats, and so are yours. Now, if that isn't a hardcore top 5, what is? So, all you people who are members and you're watching this, give me your top 5 on comment section, and let's see what it is. All right, and if anybody's got any ideas for another top 5 of anything in boxing, just send me your ideas in the comment section or to porkycorner@mail.com. If anybody wants to come on Zoom, send me your email and we'll see about getting you on Zoom, and then you can have your say. Because you remember, aren't you? You're welcome on anytime. You get priority. All right?
Yep. Okay, Russell.
Thank you very much, Kent, for your time. I know you're busy. What you got planned today?
I've actually a quieter day today, so I'm not actually doing much training this week. I'm just doing some gym work, and I'm possibly going to go and do some climbing today.
Climbing? That's because you've been listening to me going on about the Eiger Mountains, isn't it?
I've been doing a wee bit of climbing, Russell, indoor climbing.
Yeah.
And it's really, really, really good. And I'm one of these people. I'd be like yourself. If I get into a routine of something, I get obsessed really quickly.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to go now to a very big European sports store that sell all sports gear. I'm going to go to that shop and I'm going to buy some new climbing shoes because I'm enjoying it.
Ken. I always said you needed to get out more, Ken.
Listen, I'm still that anorak that everybody says. So I've still got Ring magazine posted all around my bedroom as wallpaper and all MR things, but I just like to try new things. And
there's no wrong with that. There's no wrong with that. I love it. Do you remember KO magazine? I used to get that all the time. KO.
That was kind of like a poor man's Ring magazine, wasn't it? I liked it. And you know what they had?
Go on, what?
You know what they had in the middle of it? You know why the Ring magazine has like their own graphics, their own like stuff for all the ratings? They just got like a photocopy of all the sanctioning bodies and just put it in the middle of their magazine. And I like that because of that. I love that.
All right then, Ken. Well, listen, you take care and have a great weekend.
Take care, Russell.
Right, we'll have you back on Monday, yeah, for our regular spot. All right, take care. Bye. Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.
Well, that was Kent. What about that? Weapon at Weak glasses. That were Kent from Belfast, Northern Ireland. He lives near where Alex Higgins grew up, I think. So, but yeah, so I think I'm gonna have Chris Burns on next, and that will be 8, 9. That'll be 9 members videos, and that just leaves 1 more members video, and that's 10. So that's done. We've completed YouTube one. So what you get after weekends, a bonus in it. So all right. So peace out. Keep on trucking. Keep supporting boxing. Once again, thank you very much for joining members area. Makes a difference to the channel. All right. Peace out.